Today is World Tourism Day, and as you know, tourism plays a crucial role in our island's economy and culture. Millions of visitors flock to our shores annually to take in our beautiful homeland and the warmth of our people. As we celebrate our heritage and unique culture, I'm thrilled to share that we have a fantastic lineup for you today. So, stay with us. We'll be right back after the news.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your GIS News for Friday, September 27, 2024. The Constitutional Reform Committee, CRC, is reassessing its recommendation on the method of appointing the President for the Republic of Jamaica. This decision follows extensive feedback from various stakeholders, including former Prime Ministers and civic organizations. Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs Marlene Malahoo Fort, who is also the co-chair of the CRC, announced that Dr. Lloyd Barnett has been tasked with formulating a revised recommendation for consideration and submission. As part of the transition to a republic, the British monarch is to be replaced by a non-executive president as the formal head of state.
Countries with parliamentary cabinet systems have been well and better positioned to preserve human rights and achieve democratic stability and economic welfare compared to those with executive presidential systems.
This change is intended to create a more stable governance structure.
Transition to a non-executive presidency within the parliamentary cabinet system will therefore allow for the preservation of stability and better enable the establishment and pursuit of a more just and equitable society.
In addition to the appointment process, the CRC is also revising its recommendations regarding the removal of a president from office. Minister of Tourism Edmund Bartlett has made an urgent call for G20 nations to invest in capacity building for small island developing states, SIDS, which are heavily reliant on tourism. Minister Bartlett made the call while speaking at the G20 and United Nations Tourism Side event in Brazil last week. The event was held under the theme Tourism, Building a Just World and a Sustainable Planet. The tourism minister highlighted the stark economic disparity where G20 nations generate approximately $1.5 trillion in tourism revenue compared to $35 billion for SIDS. He therefore called for collaborative efforts to enhance sustainable tourism practices, improve travel facilitation, and support local small and medium-sized enterprises. Minister Bartlett asserted that by fostering ecotourism and investing in cultural heritage, the sector will not only attract global visitors, but also thrive economically. He reiterated his appeal for the establishment of a global tourism resilience fund to help SIDS build their capacity for sustainability and innovation in the face of climate change and external shocks. While in Brazil, Minister Bartlett also had discussion with India's Minister of Tourism on ways to tap into the lucrative Indian travel market. The Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries will be launching its Urban Harvest program in October as it continues to promote self-sufficiency within the sector and among consumers. The initiative is also being done to enhance food security within communities by encouraging individuals to cultivate their own gardens. Portfolio Minister Floyd Green made the announcement during a statement to Parliament early this week.
Under that program, Madam Speaker, we will be distributing 3,000 backyard gardening kits, especially across our urban centers, to ensure that we are focusing on food security.
According to Minister Green, the backyard garden kits will be technology-based and available on a first-come, first-served basis. In addition, 250 vertical hydroponic farms will be distributed. The eligibility criteria is to be communicated shortly. Minister Green says the Urban Harvest program reflects the government's commitment to improving food security and fostering sustainable agricultural practices in urban areas. 55 bags of plastic bottles and other solid waste materials weighing 935 pounds were removed from the Jobson Bay Eco Beach Park in Trelawney last weekend. The removal forms part of International Coastal Cleanup Day with volunteers including the Sandals Foundation and the See the Change Foundation.
This is an essential part of what we do in terms of working with the community to give back this beautiful resource that local communities can come and enjoy, but also to remove the plastic that would otherwise end up in the ocean and will actually affect our marine life.
One volunteer emphasized the importance of proper garbage disposal to preserve the environment for future generations.
Be mindful that your actions impact not just the environment, but the future generations to come that will benefit from the environment. We have a slogan that I always see on commercials, "No dirty up Jamaica." And I strongly believe in that. We have to do our part to set the tone, set the pace so that future generations, the younger persons coming up, will see that example and treat the environment with respect.
And finally, a family of 3 in Rocky Point, Clarendon, who lost their possessions during Hurricane Beryl on July 3, are beneficiaries of one of 2 retrofitted container houses. The dwelling, which is built under the Little But Talawa initiative, was handed over recently to Tracy Ann Thomas and her 2 children. The home comprises a bedroom, kitchenette, and bathroom facilities and is also outfitted with solar energy panels and a water storage tank. The family was also provided with 2 bunk beds, among other things. The initiative is spearheaded by Custos of Clarendon, Edith Chin, who says it aims to provide sustainable housing solutions to the needy in that parish.
So this home we've built, it represents the culmination of hard work, dedication, and a shared vision that brought together so many people and organizations. The beauty of this is that we're making them such that they're mobile. We want them to be easily relocated, meaning that as life's opportunities or changes arise, the family can take their home with them.
Meanwhile, Governor General Sir Patrick Allen lauded Custos Chin for the work being done to support families in great need. His sentiments were delivered by Senior Justice of the Peace, Carlton Knight.
This initiative, the brainchild of Custos Edith Chin, sparks hope in families who have experienced sleepless nights, wondering whether or not they will be able to get through these trying times. The beauty of this program lies in its ingenuity and sustainability. It aligns with the global movement towards sustainable development, and I am thrilled to see this kind of forward-thinking approach.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Attitude is something which productivity will require, and a good attitude. So these are conversations which are difficult. Because how do you instill a good attitude? It starts by the kinds of activities that you engage your children in at an early age. What are we teaching our children even in our own homes? How do they see us reacting to challenges? How do they hear us addressing issues? That's what's going to shape their attitude and their mindset.
Thank you for staying with us. Homeschooling offers a variety of appealing options for many families, like flexible scheduling. In our next feature, we'll take a closer look at how one family navigates the homeschooling experience.
Meet Ronalda Pearman, homeschooling mother who makes learning an adventure for her child, Tanama. With creativity and enthusiasm, she turns everyday lessons into explorations, showing her dedication to making education both fun and personalized. Together with her husband, Robert Pearman, they ensure that their 6-year-old, Tanama, is given the necessary tools for her homeschool journey.
My Taino ancestry and cultural practices is what really was the driving force behind homeschooling, because as you know now, there is the extinction narrative that all the Tainos died out. However, we aren't, obviously, and so it was very important to me that my child learned her ancestry and also lived the life of it. And so school for me, that was the first, public school for me was the first barrier that started to come up in terms of if they're teaching her that she's dead, she's going to have that continuous struggle to continue to defend who she is. And so it was very instrumental in continuing the legacy in the capacity of homeschooling. It is extremely important that I have a schedule or a routine that is flexible, that will allow for life. And so the morning routine will begin from, say, 7:30. We greet the sun as a part of our cultural practice. We give gratitude, and then from there we'll move into family discussions in our own little devotions. We'll have breakfast, but sometimes breakfast is probably her even assisting me in the kitchen. I also get to structure screen time. So if screen time is probably like 3 hours for the day or 2 hours for the day, then for those screen time, it is very educational and she's learning something from it. Structured learning is from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and then from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. it's just outside. So where she's running up and down, she's catching butterflies, she'll learn about the leaf of life, she'll learn about lemongrass or fever grass, aloe vera / Cinco Bible. She will, right now I have little holes in the yard where she'll dig up and break pieces of my plants and plant them, Just her learning about the earth, the soil, the different parts of the tree, a tree life, insects.
Games are fun, hands-on, interactive, and educational. They teach so many skills. So what we do is we ensure that we incorporate games education into her curriculum, and the objective of this is that she has an opportunity to lead in some of these activities. She chooses the games that she wants to play, and we ensure that the options that are available are those that will develop various skills that she will have, right? Problem solving, calculation, various things.
Creating your space, I should make a point, is solely the responsibility of you and your child, because it doesn't make sense you create a space where the child finds uncomfortable. Learning will never happen there. So have a conversation with the child. You have these learning posters. Does she find it scary? Does he find it attractive? Does he want to look on it and point, or reinforce a lesson that he's learned previously and say, oh, so this is what is there. Your learning space doesn't have to be big either. If it is just a small room or a little square, that is solely between you and the child, because learning takes place everywhere. The Jamaican government's education curriculum is one of the best in the world, my opinion. It's very fulsome. You get a lot from it. However, sometimes the tools in which you use to communicate that information to the child may be a little bit lacking, and so sometimes we will have to use a different curriculum to as a tool to navigate those spaces, and in terms of giving the child what they need. So for me right now, I'm working with the Ministry of Education curriculum. I've termed it traditional cultural studies because we don't just teach her Taino culture, but also our Maroon heritage culture. And we have a very good relationship with the Windward Maroons, that's Charlestown, Scottsall, and Moortown Maroon community. And so they also come to our events. We also go to all of their events. I don't want her to miss out on those. How do I decompress? I do gardening. I have my gardening time where I'll, ask my husband to, while they're doing their arts and craft or game schooling, I'm outside, one with the plants. Another way I decompress is painting and coloring. So, and I have my self-care journal.
A part of home education, I want to make this very clear, it is not about educating the child, but everyone in the household, because we're all learning from each other and we're all learning from interactions. So it is critical to view home education not as something isolated and separate from a public system, but it is an integral part that should be added to any type of curriculum or education plan for children of all ages.
Anybody who is going to take on homeschooling must have self-care as a part of their routine because it can become intense. If you know as a homeschooling parent that you're reaching to that point and you have nobody to get a break with, pause. A pause is better than reaction.
Carbon monoxide poisoning is a silent but deadly threat, especially when using generators and other fuel-burning devices. Here's how you can keep your home and family safe. Never use a generator, grill, camp stove, or other gasoline, propane, natural gas, or charcoal burning devices inside a home, garage, or any partially enclosed area. Keep these devices outdoors, away from doors, windows, and vents that could allow carbon monoxide to come indoors. For your cooking gas stoves, always ensure they are well ventilated by using an exhaust fan or opening windows to allow fresh air to circulate and prevent carbon monoxide buildup. Simply opening doors and windows or using fans may prevent CO buildup in the home. Carbon monoxide can't be seen or smelled, but it can rapidly lead to full incapacitation and death. If you start to feel sick, dizzy, or weak while using a generator, get to fresh air right away. Do not delay. Install CO alarms in central locations on every level of your home and outside sleeping areas to provide early warning of carbon monoxide accumulation. Test the batteries frequently and replace them when needed. If the carbon monoxide alarm sounds, move quickly to a fresh air location outdoors or by an open window or door. Protect your home and loved ones from carbon monoxide poisoning. Stay safe and be aware.
Early intervention is essential for children, especially those with developmental delays or disabilities. Early detection and treatment significantly enhance a child's development and overall outcomes. In our next feature, we'll explore this topic in greater detail.
The sooner you know, the better. Understanding children with neurodivergent conditions is crucial for providing the right supports and creating environments where they can truly thrive. In this feature, we will delve into the complexities of two of these disorders, autism and ADHD, and explore the efforts being made to help Jamaican children flourish regardless of their unique realities.
Autism spectrum disorder, ASD, is a developmental disorder characterized by challenges in social interaction, communication, and repetitive behaviors. Children with autism may struggle with understanding social cues and forming relationships and may prefer to play alone. The symptoms vary and differ in each child, but among them, those on the spectrum might not make eye contact or respond to their names. ADHD, or Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, is a neurodevelopmental condition that affects a child's ability to focus, control impulses, and regulate activity levels. It is typically diagnosed in childhood and can persist into adulthood. Children with ADHD may struggle with sustaining attention, following instructions, or organizing tasks. They may seem forgetful or easily distracted.
The 2021 report by UNICEF showed that there are 16 million children between the ages of 10 and 19 in Latin America and the Caribbean who have mental disorders. In Jamaica, we are about 1 in 7. However, because our resources are so limited in terms of the state resources and so on, a lot of the children go unidentified. It is important that we identify our children early so that we can provide the necessary accommodations and interventions that they need to be successful.
Early intervention is essential if you've identified any of the symptoms linked to autism or ADHD. Fortunately, there are advocates like the Z Learning Center, which has been a steadfast supporter of the Ministry of Education, helping to ensure that every child receives the necessary support.
Once a parent comes in and we do an assessment, it is then sent to the Ministry of Education. So, for instance, a child who is in grade 4 who is assessed and is doing PEP, grades 4, 5, or 6. Once we do the assessment and the recommendation the child needs a shadow, or the child needs a scribe, or the child needs a reader, that is sent to the Ministry of Education, and they then provide the accommodations for the children.
Established in 2015, Z Learning Center provides full psychosocial assessments for children on the autism spectrum and those showing signs of ADHD.
We know that all children are capable of learning. They may learn differently, and they may learn not in the same way and the same day as a regular child. So we call children that we deal with predominantly neurodivergent children, as opposed to neurotypical children who are seen as a regular child.
Early intervention programs are very important to assess the needs of a child, and that includes both psychosocial and educational assessments. These assessments help identify children on the spectrum, those who may be dyslexic, have ADHD, or other developmental delays.
When a parent or a pediatrician recommends a child because they may see some developmental delays, such as the child may be nonverbal, the parent comes and the first thing we do is a consultation. We ask what they are seeing or what the referral is from the pediatrician. We then take the parent through a rigorous interview, and we then send documents to the teachers who may have had interactions with the child, as well as we do direct observations as well of the child. The entire process can take up to 4 hours depending on the age of the child. We have been assessing children as young as 2 years and 6 months who present with profiles of being on the autism spectrum. So you can appreciate that a 2-year-old may be different from a 10-year-old in terms of the length of the assessment. So we do also have early intervention, which we start at 3-year-olds and we go all the way to 7-year-olds.
Creating an educational plan after assessment is crucial, with each plan tailored to the child's specific needs to ensure their developmental success.
We have been working with quite a few preschools who they have seen children who are on the spectrum, and so they send the children here for what we call early intervention. The early intervention lasts for a year, and then the children are reintegrated into preschool. So when they come to us, they are for the most part nonverbal. They don't respond to their names. They don't maintain eye contact, which are, red flags as to a child being on the spectrum. We work with them and then they are reintegrated into their regular preschool. It is important that parents are involved because the school alone cannot help a child to be successful, because we need parents to be able to carry out the same activities at home.
It's important to remember that while autism cannot be cured, children can learn to cope with the disorder and diagnosis. Similarly, intervention is available for the range of neurodivergent conditions children face. So the sooner you know, the better.
Parents, please don't be overwhelmed if you think your child is on the spectrum. It is not a death sentence. Autism is something that can be worked with. Your child can be just as successful. There are many celebrity, I would say, persons who are autistic, people who are also ADHD. Simone Biles, who is the most decorated gymnast in the United States, is ADHD. However, we need to have our children's best interest at heart, and so the earlier we diagnose and remediate, the better it is for our children.
Tourism is one of the largest industries worldwide and plays a critical role in driving economic growth in many destinations. Today we celebrate World Tourism Day, raising awareness about the social, cultural, political and economic significance of tourism while addressing key issues within the industry.
Jamaica, therefore, is proud to join the United Nations Tourism, UN Tourism, and the global community in celebrating World Tourism Day, embracing the theme which has been given a Jamaican twist: tourism and peace, out of many, one love. In 2023, an estimated 1.3 billion people traveled the world, earning destinations some $1.4 trillion. Here at home, last year saw us welcoming a record-breaking 4.16 million visitors and generating some $4.27 billion in earnings. Additionally, I'm pleased to share that since the start of 2024, we have welcomed some 3 million stopover and cruise visitors to the island. Therefore, through tourism, let us change the world. Let us create a world where peace is not merely an aspiration, but a tangible reality.
We've reached the end of our program. Get a recap of everything you saw here and more on our website, jis.gov.jm. I'm Audrey Williams. Walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.